we're back. Here I am, Fly Navarro, and I'm here with Primetime Butch, Captain Butch Cox. Good morning, Captain Butch. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, Fly. Hope the same for you, buddy. Look like you're
Yeah,
pretty happy.
doing really good. Really quick, introduce yourself, and then we're going to dive into a bunch of different things here.
Well, Land, I don't know how to go about that. You gave me my name.
Where
I
are you
spent
from?
my I was born in Cambridge, Maryland, the eastern shore of Maryland, about 60 miles west of Ocean City.
Okay.
My
And
first my
I,
first big fishing job was on the Allison. And
really,
that's correct. I ran the Allison for 6 years.
I remember that
That's
boat.
that was before Buckshot got on there.
Wow.
And back then, that was a big boat, probably the biggest boat on the East Coast
Yeah.
until the Jersey Devil came along. They had a big boat.
Damn. That's
So,
I didn't realize that. That was a very well-known boat.
yes, it was. Matter of fact, we had two of them. The first one was 60 feet, and he was building a new one, which was 70 feet. So I was on both of them. But I think that job started in 1978 or something.
You were in
Yes,
your
Fly, I'm
disco
old.
clothes.
Well, that's funny you say that because Slim and Pete Boynes were the best of buddies. And
Really?
remember talking about the disco when Pete had Pete and Lenny's in Fort Lauderdale. That was a big time discotheque back then.
That was like when you start seeing those 1980 style movies when they're going
Right?
back in the day, they're highlighting Pete and Lenny's, man.
Do you do you remember when Pete got shot?
So that was before my time. So I mean, I remember the stories because we spent a lot of time with Pete,
Right.
but I don't remember when he was shot. I think wasn't he shot 3 times? He's been stabbed like 7 times.
He's got some stories. And I was at his birthday party this past December,
Was he 85?
85.
Okay, I was at his 80th.
Yep, I remember that one as
I
well.
was at his 80th. I walked in and I don't drink, but I took a glass of champagne from the girl that was hanging upside down. I'm like, I can't say no. I need to take the champagne.
I have a video of that girl hanging upside down.
Oh my God, that was great.
Always makes me laugh.
That man
Only
knows how to
Pete.
throw a party.
Yes, he does. You see, had valet parking this year, but there was no girl hanging pouring champagne.
Well, listen, at 85 years old, uh, we're lucky that if it's just a girl holding his walker.
That would be correct.
Oh my gosh. Listen, we had more fun with him over the years on the Real Tight. I have more inappropriate stories with Pete Boynes. It is so funny because nobody picked on him like Jim.
That's correct.
Jim would lay it into him. And
That's the way he and Slim were.
really,
They were allowed to pick, but Joe Blow's not allowed to pick.
no, 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 no. You were there the year that we cut down his Greek flag and put up the rainbow flag.
That's right.
It's funny because what day was it? It was Monday. I had Newt Cagle on, and we were talking about that. And he's like, "Yeah, I was working with Butch that year."
Oh boy. Yeah, Pete can
Ah,
get riled up. No
oh my
question.
God. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. It's funny because, man, the story, I've told the story about the carrots so many times. I'm not really sure if I should even say it on here, but I've told it to like John Brooks, Mike Samuels. Every time I turn around, them guys give me a bowl of carrots just to remind me of that fucking story.
Oh
Pete
boy.
Pete was, I mean, still is the best. He's still funny as hell. He's the only person I know in this world that no matter what kind of boat he has, he's always going to take it to Roy Merritt, and Roy's not going to
That's right.
complain. You got a Viking, bring it in. You got a Hatteras, bring it in.
That's
Roy's
right.
just going to take it.
And Pete hasn't changed. If you call him up right now, he will cuss you and call you nasty names. And at the end of the phone call, he'll always tell you he loves you.
Yeah,
That's
but
Pete.
that's Pete.
Yeah.
That's Pete. You
Oh
know,
boy.
but that listen, it's funny you say that because I have a friend of mine. His name's Gravy. He was a pilot for the Little Birds in the U.S. Army. He was the 160th. So all the guys that fly the Delta Force in and what just went into Venezuela to extract Maduro, those are all the 160th. He was a
Right.
pilot for the 160th. He's now 62 years old and super great guy. And we would sit there talking every time we hang up. Hey man, I love you. And when you're 20 and 30, it's not something you think about. But as you start getting a little older, and he told it to me, he goes, "Man, I'm 62 years old. I've lost a lot of friends.
Right.
Both in war, both in life." And he goes, "I don't know if this is the last time I'm going to talk to you, so I might as well let you know how I feel about you. So, hey man, I love you." You know, and
Right.
like I said, it wasn't a big deal in my 20s and 30s, but now that I'm 52, I like my friends to know that I love them just in case something happens to me or them. They know how I feel about them and how I felt about them all these years, how we've shared
Sure.
docs together and shared the rip. And, uh, s there's a lot of stories. Listen,
You,
you spent how many
you
years
know,
on Sea Doc? You're a big part of my life.
you know who will tell you he loves you is Flash, who I have not heard from in a little bit.
Well, listen here. That no good motherfucker, I'm going to say it nice and loud. He's horrible. He's horrible at returning calls, but
I
I fucking love that guy.
I texted him just last week and he hadn't responded. It makes me worry.
Well, he he has to have his life very, very regimented. And he does not like getting out of that regimen. He
Right.
likes everything. He doesn't like surprises, and I get it. I respect him for it. I'm lucky I get 5 weeks every year with him up in Nova Scotia, Canada, that he can't run from me. He has to see me when I come up them stairs in my boxers and making my Cuban coffee. He has no choice. Um, Same thing at the end of the day. He comes in, and it's so funny because I love telling this story. He's like, "Fly, I got tomorrow off. I'm cooking." I'm like, "No, Flash, you've earned your keep. You relax tomorrow. You're not fishing. You do your thing. I'm putting something in the crock pot. Let me take care of you, man. You've always taken care of me when I was a young kid, and nobody would talk to me. Flash would always talk to me."
Right.
So yeah, no, he has a special spot in my heart. And I love to tell this story. I've always believed in God, but he was the first one that introduced me to the Bible.
How about that?
He's the first one that introduced me to the Bible. So when we got started going to Nova Scotia together, one of the things we get to do every night over dinner is we get to talk about Bible scripture. And it's not like I get a chance to talk about it for the rest of the year. So it's just something I enjoy talking with him about. I like hearing the stories. He's a good storyteller. So,
He's got plenty of stories.
oh my God, that guy right there, he is full. He's got a story for every day, every weather situation. Oh, northwest winds, 17 to 23. Reminds me of this one time when I was in Hatteras, when I was gill netting king mackerel. Of course, you have a story.
That's right. Oh boy.
Oh my God. No, listen, he's a good dude, man. And I'm glad he's still around and 72 years old, man.
I'm 74.
Son of a bitch. I didn't realize you were 74.
I'll be 75 in June. Happy to be here.
How's the golf game?
I play golf like twice a week now,
Is that on
but
Tuesdays and Thursdays?
that's correct.
Okay, because when I first reached out to you, you're like, "Hey, I'm available any day except Tuesday morning and Thursday morning." I go, "I'll bet you he's playing fucking golf. I'll
You
bet you
got
he's
it.
playing fucking golf." Oh, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
man,
So
too much.
you spent a very long time on the prime time. 28
24
years?
years.
24.
24 years. Yep.
Okay. Could you go into a little bit of the story of your time on the prime time, where it started, how it started, and all the different places you went?
Oh, let's see. I was running a charter boat out of Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. And that was a single engine Buddy Kennedy boat. And Galen Layfield was my charter a couple times. And he told me that he always wanted to have a bigger boat. And so the following year, he said, I want to get a boat. He said, find us a boat. So I picked out three boats. And he came down and looked at them all. And I said, which one do you like? He said, well, that boat's going to be your problem. So you pick the one you want. You take care of the boat, and I'll take care of the bank. He was president of Signet Bank. So I got a 52-foot BC boat that he had built the year before, single engine. And we had that boat for 10 years. And then we built the Paul Mann boat and wanted to get a little fancier boat. So we got two motors and nice interior and a really nice boat. So after that, we wound up moving to Pirates Cove. And next thing you know, we started going to Mexico and Venezuela and St. Thomas and all that, Aruba, Dominican Republic. And we wound up staying down there for quite a few years.
You stayed
No
down there
need to
for a
come back.
long time.
Yeah. Oh man. And everybody's talking about Venezuela now with all the changes. Everybody wants to go fishing, and we both know that'll take some time. But man, I know you remember you get up in the morning, you couldn't wait to go fishing.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. I couldn't tell you how many calls I've had about Venezuela.
The day after it happened, I got all kind of texts that just said, "When are we going?"
I have been contacted by a lot of people. Some are, when are we going? And some are, hey, we have this idea. Would you be willing to work with us? And I'm like, you let me know, whatever I can do to
Well,
help.
it's going to take a little time.
I tell everybody it's probably going to be 3 to 5 years, give or take.
Right.
Um, there's a lot of stuff. It's not a light switch.
Correct.
It's definitely not a light switch. I have over the last 3 years, I've been invited to go fish a tournament in November down there every year, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going down there, not with an American passport. Uh,
No.
but now. I'm not saying I would jump on a plane right now and go, but I, depending on who's calling me, I might go down there. You know, who's calling me, who's picking me up,
Right.
somebody I know well. I may consider it, but I would say for me to feel comfortable, it's probably going to be 12 to 18 months.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And,
This is the biggest difference is 2 months ago, if you would have asked me, uh, are we ever going back? And I would have said, I don't know. Now, I would say, yeah, we are
Right.
probably going to go back. Just I don't know when. I feel confident that we're going back,
Right.
but I just don't know when. It's going to happen. You know, people want to go back. I mean, when you think about how people talk about Cuba that was frozen in time in the 50s, think about Venezuela. We've had 25 years of stuff going on, and they've been in a bubble.
Mm.
They've been in a bubble.
I know
So
you remember Poncho that worked with me.
I, shit, Poncho
Poncho,
and Richard were down there when it happened.
I know Poncho was there and he texted me and told me he was okay, but he had to take the SIM card out of his phone that had American contacts in it in case he got caught. And
Oh,
that's why he was out of touch for a while after that.
see, that makes sense. Like I talked to Richard because
Mm.
I was fishing with Mike Samuels, and he's like, Richard's going to be here tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I want to see him, you know. And I asked him, I said, hey, your English is good enough. Would you want to come on here and tell us what happened? He's like, I can't talk.
Right.
I have family down there. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, Poncho would be the
We
same
don't
way.
think of that in the United States.
Yeah.
You
A
can't
lot of
talk
people
about the
here
government.
don't realize how lucky we are
Oh my
here in the
gosh.
United States. We don't want to get into politics, but if you spent time somewhere in like Venezuela, when you come back in the boat and you see that American flag flying, you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah. A Budweiser and a bacon cheeseburger, that goes a long way, man.
No question.
I listen, and again, we're not going to dive deep into politics, but we can dive into how good we have it and how good we know we have it because you get the opportunity to go outside and see what it's like not to have it.
That's correct.
You know, say what you say, whether you like it or you don't. The fact that you can say you don't like it is a pretty nice fucking thing.
No doubt.
It's a really nice thing that people take for granted. Uh, Talking about, oh, I don't like this. Well, enjoy that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that you can say that.
How about it?
I remember stories of my grandparents telling me after Fidel took over, you couldn't talk. You couldn't talk because your neighbors might turn you in. You'd
Right.
have to whisper.
Man.
I just heard a uh what's that called? I heard a little story that came off the news from back in like 2020, 2021, where one of the mayors or one of the governors of one of the states was talking about the saying is snitches get stitches, but here snitches are getting rewards. So if your neighbors are having a party, turn them in and you'll get a reward. It's like, oh my God, that's the kind of shit my grandparents used to talk about. That's fucking crazy.
How about it?
And they're
How
promoting it,
about
they're
it?
offering rewards. So,
Different life.
yeah, it really is. It really is. Listen, I, because of the fact that all the places I've gone to, Home Depot and Publix mean a big deal to me, man. It's a huge deal to me. You
Oh
know,
man.
just the fact of going to Publix and getting yourself some fresh basil or uh, a non-spoiled avocado.
Hey, just recently when the price of eggs went up and Becky was talking about it every time she bought eggs. I remember a time in Venezuela when the only eggs you could buy was on the black market. And as an American, you couldn't go to the grocery store and buy them. you had to send your driver to get them because they wouldn't. Sometimes they go in some back alley to buy eggs from somebody.
People don't
Different
realize
life.
that.
Yeah.
I last time I was down there, uh no, it wasn't the last time. The last time I was down there, I was on the real tight. Right before I went down there and spent a week with Lee Alonzo. And we went over to the bakery and we were eating lunch. And while we were sitting there eating lunch, he had ordered a pork chop or a couple pork chops. And as we're talking, I saw a flash. Some lady had run in, grabbed the bones off his plate. Bones. There was no meat on it. It
Right.
was just bones. And took it back outside where her two kids were on the ground and she gave them the bones so they can
Wow.
suck on the bones just to get something,
Right.
you know? You're like, whoa, what just happened?
I know. And they would
That's,
take, if we had some kind of meat fish like a dolphin or a wahoo or something, they would take the carcass home with them after we filleted it to make fish soup.
yeah.
And
I
around here, we
remember
throw the carcass in the trash.
I remember watching them, some days that we weren't fishing, they'd pull out the carcasses from the day before and put them on the grill. And they grill the carcasses and then they pull the meat in between the bones. I'm like, we're a bunch of wasteful motherfuckers, man.
How about it?
We're wasteful. Now, how
How
many
about
seasons did you do down there on the prime time? You did a bunch
Oh,
in a row, like 6 years?
yeah, I would say 6 years, maybe seven.
Okay. Y-
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You were doing the spring and the fall down there.
Yeah, we do Venezuela, then hang out in Aruba, which we turned out to have some great fishing in Aruba.
Aruba's,
And
other than
then,
it being rough, Aruba's
yeah,
great fishing.
yeah. And then we did the Dominican and St. Thomas, one big circle, trying to follow the fish around.
Well, listen, you're not going to catch them sitting at the dock.
No, you're not,
You might as well go out there and chase them.
for
You might as well
sure.
go out there and chase them. You kept a pretty good schedule there. I'm trying to think. That was like right around from 2000 to '08,
Yeah, I think
give or take.
2001 was the first year we took the boat down there,
Okay.
prime time.
Okay. And
I
how
had
how
been
long
down
were
there,
you in St. Thomas for? Until when?
I think 2012.
Okay. So longer. Yeah, okay. A little longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last year on the real tight was 13. And then I went out to Hawaii, but you were there that whole time we were
Yeah.
uh, right there at the end of Sea Dock. You'd catch me on my morning walk up the hill almost every day. I was just talking to, who was I talking to the other day? It wasn't with Newt. It was somebody else you caught me coming back down. Maybe it was with Newt because I told him that's when I got a chance to fish with Chip Schaefer, was with you. I was coming back from my morning walk and you had Chip Schaefer, Bud Graham, and Nick. And
Right.
you guys needed another teaser guy. You want to go? Fuck yeah, I want to go.
What what Chip say, where's your other mate? I said, you're the other mate. The Chip was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work.
That was funny.
I
Oh, I had a good time, man. What did we fish like 3 days? Two or
think
3 days?
so.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I had the Joe Yee super plunger on the cockpit teaser. That was easy. I didn't have to worry about a whole nother side. All I had to worry about was one.
That's right.
One teaser.
Man.
Just sit there. Listen, I could sit like a bump on a log. It ain't that hard, man.
Oh boy.
I had a great time, man. Between
If you can't get
you and
excited, fly fishing for blue marlin, then you got no business fishing.
Yeah, I couldn't turn it down. Listen, the only thing that held me up was Eddie was already back, and I didn't want to just disappear, you
Right.
know? So I had to go wake him up. Hey, I'm going fishing. Do you need anything? No. Bye.
See ya.
That's that was my only thing because you disappear, and if he had something planned, go get fuel or something, and I'm not around, then I'm the asshole. But if I let him
Right.
know, then I'm covered. It's CYA, cover your ass.
Right.
It's like a government position. But man, I had a ball. Shit, I think we probably had 3 or 4 bites every day.
That's pretty cool stuff, fly fishing for
Oh
blue
my
ones.
gosh. And listen, with Nick, he knows what he's doing once he's got him on. Well, even
Those two
before
guys
he's
are
got him
still
on.
at it. They're still
Yeah.
going at it.
I did reach out to I called Chip on his cell phone the other day to see if he wanted to join me. I haven't heard back. He's probably somewhere fishing. I'll get
I
a
would
hold of
think
him.
so.
I ain't worried about it. My biggest thing is I just want um all of us in the industry. I want to, there's so many of us that we know about or we talk to or we've heard about. We all got really cool stories. So I just want to get as many people on and uh, just tell the stories of the shit we do or done. And I know
Right.
you specifically reached out to me for one story, and we'll get to that one. But there's still a whole bunch of other stories, that we come across and stuff we've done, and I don't want that shit to die. I want to get it out there and share it with people of what our industry is really about because
Right.
it's like a fraternity. To me, it's like a fraternity because I get to go to a lot of places now that back in the day where St. Thomas wasn't a lot of boats, Venezuela was definitely not a lot of boats. Now you go to Costa Rica and there's 100 boats. Uh,
Right.
but I still get to go to some places that you might only have 4 or 5 boats, and it's still a fucking fraternity. You
Wow.
know, I go on a boat and I don't speak any English, or nobody speaks English, and I'm just okay. We know how to talk knots and lures, and I have some Japanese friends that speak no English at all. And I was in a in a showroom of a car dealer. I got a friend of mine. He's a car dealer in Japan, and he wanted me to show him how to do a bimini twist. He's got all his people coming in and asking him, you know, hey, what about this? Get out. I'm learning how to tie a bimini twist. And I think that's awesome because
Yeah.
it has that same passion that we have here in the United States, but you get to see it somewhere else.
Do any of them speak Spanish?
It's funny you say that. Not in Japan, but I was in the Middle East one time. We were out at dinner, and go figure, I ran across this girl. So I'm talking to this young lady. Doesn't speak maybe 10 words in English. She's from Morocco. And we're talking, everybody's talking. And uh, there's American guys there, there's French guys there. It's just a bunch of fishermen. And this one girl speaks no English. And then suddenly she says, like, her father or grandfather was from Spain. And I go, you speak Spanish? Sí, como no, como está? Fucking perfect Spanish. No English, but she spoke Spanish.
There you go.
So I got a chance to talk to somebody for 5 minutes in Spanish. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, you know? So
Wow.
yeah, you bridged it somewhere else.
You know, when I was in school and they're trying to teach you a foreign language, I always was like, man, this is stupid. Why do I need to learn some other language? Boy, did I wish I had paid attention. And the first time I went to Mexico, and Roberto was, golly, they was he 9 or 10 years old. And the only way he would give me a bottle of water is when I learned how to ask for that in Spanish.
Really?
And that's the same way he learned English. I wouldn't give him anything until he could ask me in English.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's
Never thought that I would need to learn how to speak some other language to go fishing.
my grandfather, when I was a kid, my grandfather spoke no English. And, typical kid, you go to school, you're speaking English all the time. And every time I go to his house, he goes, "Don't forget your Spanish. Don't forget your Spanish. Remember, when you speak two languages, it's like hiring two people." And as a young kid, shut up, old man. What do you know? Oh my gosh. He knew what he was talking about. And
Right.
I ended up getting my first job on a boat because I spoke
Spoke
Spanish.
Spanish. There you go.
Yeah. Gordon Albritton offered me a job on the boat. And he's like, "Hey, I need a deckhand." I'm like, "I don't know anything about big boats." He goes, "I'll teach you. I need somebody that speaks Spanish." And off I went to Mexico.
How
And
about that?
listen, that's what helped me throughout Venezuela. And that's what got me the job on the Real Tight because Jim Lambert was specifically looking for somebody that spoke both languages. And my name kept coming up. And the rest was history.
My first trip through the Panama Canal was on the Allison.
Really?
And yeah, and I hired a guy that spoke Spanish to make that trip with me. Kind of had to, didn't have a choice,
Yeah.
you know, just to make the transit.
Wow.
So pretty
That's
cool.
listen,
Yeah, I
I,
think
I
that was
love I love going through the canal.
that was 1980,
Wow.
and back then, whatever ship you went through the lock with to go in, you had to go out with that ship. So you basically had all day to wait for that ship.
You
So
you were stuck with them.
you were stuck, but we had a nice pilot. He let us stop in the lake and go fishing for peacock bass while we waited for the ship to catch up.
Oh, that's cool.
But that doesn't happen nowadays.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went through was in 90, I think it was 96. I was on the salt shaker with Mikey Deegan and Eddie Wettengale. And we tied up to one of them giant mooring balls and we went
Right?
swimming.
There you go.
We went swimming. Everybody was jumping off and swimming in the lake and Lake Gatun. It was awesome.
Wow.
It was awesome. Again, to this day, I've been through 11 times. Last time I went through, I went with LR when he was taking the over easy from St.
Right.
Thomas to Golfito. That was the last time I went through. I saw Pete Stevens and I saw Mario.
How about that?
Yeah, Mario was my bodyguard. I took him with me everywhere I went. He was a little black man. He was the greatest guy in the world, man.
Right.
I'm not very tall, but he was shorter than me. And whenever I needed to go shopping, he'd take me wherever I needed to go. And if he had to stop somewhere, I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to go walk over and grab a beer or something." He goes, "Hold on a second." And he grabbed two kids. And he goes, "Hey, watch this guy. Don't let him get into trouble." So he'd put two kids with me to make sure nobody would bother me.
It's funny you say about bodyguards because a lot of my neighbors here where I live, they all travel. And sometimes they come back and they're like, you wouldn't believe what happened. We landed at the airport and a policeman had machine guns. And I'm like, oh, wow. And I remember in some certain countries, we had to hire people like you're saying to
Yeah.
go to dinner with us, go to grocery store, so we'd feel safe.
Yeah,
Oh
listen,
man,
I never felt unsafe, but it's always nice to have somebody to say, "Hey, man, this is not the neighborhood you need to be walking around in."
exactly.
You know? This is not the
Exactly.
neighborhood you need to be walking around in by yourself, or um, don't be just friendly willy-nilly buying a beer and pull out your billfold and uh, next thing you know, listen, if you want a beer, I'll buy you a beer too. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't pull out a wad of money. If you're going out to dinner and you need $100, you take $100
That's it.
so that when you get robbed, you don't lose the whole bankroll. You lose a
Yeah,
hundred
you,
bucks.
you just lose $100. No, I got knock on wood. I never had any issues, you know. Um, again, lucky. I tried to stay away from the 2 o'clock in the morning walks.
Talking about getting robbed, that's what really got me. When I saw one of your videos and you're asking everybody in the world about stories that happen to them, I'm like, you know what? There's a really good story about a robbery, including a fly. I
Well,
bet people
it
would
is
love to
it,
hear
it
it.
is so funny because that's when you reached out to me, and I'm like,
That's
I'll
right.
only tell it if you jump on here. And ironically, the best, the cherry on top was your charter when I started walking out down the dock because you had John Tierney with you.
That's right.
And John Tierney knew my father. So my father was a bail bondsman in Palm Beach County. So
Oh,
John Tierney knew my dad, and my dad knew John from working in that same, I hate field, criminal
yeah.
justice. John's a criminal attorney. So yeah, it was the day before I was flying back from I was gonna fly back to St. Thomas.
Right.
So I was already packed up, had all my shit put away. Like when I'm home, I usually carry my firearm with me, and I had already put my firearm away in the safe. But I was going to go have lunch with Skip Smith down in Pompano. And on the way down, I'm like, you know what? I have a friend of mine that works at that one bank, and I had to go do something at that bank anyway. It was Chase. I had a Chase credit card. I was going to go pay my bill. So I walk in, I'm shooting the shit with him, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, I gotta go. Let me pay my thing." And I knew everybody in the bank. I knew all the girls. I'd flirt with everybody. So there's the vice president, and I'm flirting with her a little bit. And I go to pay my bill, and there's something wrong. It won't accept it. It's not accepting it in the computer, and it needs like some kind of an override. So they called that vice president in, and she was very short with it. It's like she pressed like three or four keys. It's not working. You're going to have to call the 800 number. And then she walks back outside. I'm like, what's your problem? I go, you're not very friendly today. You're always very friendly. And today you're not very friendly. What's going on with you? And I'm getting a little snippy with her. Well, next thing you know, the door slams open. I'm like, who the fuck slams open a door in a bank? And next thing you know, this guy walks in wearing a motorcycle helmet, holding a pistol. And I'm like, the fuck is going on here? So next thing you know, as he's walking towards us, just as he's walking towards us, another guy on a motorcycle drives into the bank. And it's so weird because you got this loud motorcycle in the bank, and just then he points the gun at me and the girl. I'm like, what in God's name is going on here? I, I, I wasn't comprehending it. I wasn't comprehending it at all. And he points the gun at me and the girl and grabs her and throws her up against the wall. Again, total shock. I'm like, is this a bank robbery? So I get down on the ground, and as I'm on the ground, I realize, wait a second, door here, bike there. I'm in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle. So I crawl across the floor to get out of the way. When I get to where I'm going, the first thing I do is I reach for where my gun is. Gun's not there. I'm like, oh, then I reach in my pocket for my phone. Well, just as I'm reaching for my phone, I hear a noise and I look up and I see the other guy closing the door to the bank. And as my hand's in my pocket, he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. I'm like, motherfucker, he caught me getting ready to make a phone call. And I'm like, he's going to shoot me. So I lower my head, I close my eyes, and when they say your life flashes in front of you, it did.
It did.
It did. And the first thing I thought of, and most people that know me know this, but people that are listening that don't know me, I'm not married and I have no children. And that's been a choice. I've never wanted to get married and I never wanted to have children. I love my fishing so much. I just want to be on the road. And I'm like, am I okay with that decision? And now, mind you, at that time, holy shit, I was in my 30s. So we're talking, this has been a while. So I'm like, am I okay with this? Eyes closed, because I thought that was the end of my life. I thought the guy was going to walk up to me and shoot me. And then next thing I know, I heard the door slam, the bike rev up and leave. And then I heard my best friend yell out, lock the doors, nobody in, nobody out. So I kind of look around. I'm like, whoa, I'm still alive. So I jump up. I'm the first person to jump up off the ground. And my best friend looks at me. He goes, Navarro, what? Which is my last name. He goes, Navarro, what the fuck are you still doing here? I'm like, I'm asking myself that same fucking question. So before you know it, the police are there. Then the FBI show up and they sequester everybody. They don't want anybody talking to each other. So they take me into a room and there was this lady, this FBI agent. I swear to God, she had a tattoo. I knew she had a tattoo on her arm, real tough looking lady. And on the tattoo, I don't 100% remember it, but I remember it was a tattoo and I think it said, I fucked your mom, something like that. I mean, that's how tough this lady was. So, and uh but she was very sweet, just you definitely didn't want to see her in her back alley. She
Right.
she'd kick your ass. I wouldn't pick a fight with her. And she's like, are you okay? Is there anything you need to talk about before we get into this? I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still in kind of a shock. I'm going over my head. Could I have done something different? Can I have done something to prevent it? I go, normally I have a firearm with me and I didn't have my firearm on me. And I'm thinking, did I mess up? And she's like, sir, even as an FBI agent, we are taught if you're in a bank situation like this, let them get the money and get out. Don't make it into a hostage situation.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. That it made me feel better,
Yeah.
because you're
Good
always,
plan.
it's like missing a fish. It's like, what could I have done different? She's like, listen, you did the right thing. Let them get out. So uh, I told her everything that happened, and we went through the process. She goes, okay, you can leave now. Don't talk to anybody else. I'm like, okay, if we have any other questions, let you know. So now I got to call Skip Smith up because I'm getting ready to go have lunch with him and I'm running late. I'm like, Skip, I'm running late. I'll give you the details when I get there, but I was just involved in a bank robbery and I'm just leaving. What? I'm like, so by the time I get down there, and it's funny because we went and had lunch at some Cuban restaurant in Pompano. So I show him uh, the news article. See, there's a bank robbery. There's still a picture of me on the ground like this. So this goes on. So my phone is starting to blow up. Everybody hears about it. Every time somebody calls me, I'm sending them the link to the story. And again, I'm just kind of in shock by the whole thing. Well, the next day, I'll never forget, it was Joe and I flying back down, and Pork Chop was on the boat by himself with Eddie. And he calls me and says, "Hey, um, is it true you were in a bank robbery?" I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm, I said, "Let me send you the story." So I opened it up. It's the following day. So as I look for the story, I can't find it the way it was. It's been updated, and it says three arrested in carjacking slash bank robbery. And I'm like, three, but there was only two. And when I opened up, that girl I was talking to, it was a picture of her. She was the girl that was standing next to me. It was her boyfriend that came in and robbed the fucking place.
Oh man.
So I get on the plane, me and Joe fly down there, and as I'm walking down the dock, here comes Mr. Tyranny out of your boat saying, "As your attorney, I suggest that you shouldn't have bought that new truck yesterday."
Oh boy.
Which I thought was fucking hilarious, man. It was
Didn't
hilarious.
they catch the second guy and the girl at home counting the money or
They
something?
got, yeah. So the
Didn't the one
bike,
guy finally ratted out the other guy or
what
something?
happened was the bike that they were driving, they ran into the back of a car. When they ran into the back of the car, the bike was no good, so they had to leave the bike there. The bike, in turn, has a VIN number. So they went back to the owner and, "Hey, John Smith, um, do you own this bike?" "Yeah, but my friend Butch Cox has it." "Oh, really? Where's Butch Cox?" "Well, he lives out here." So they start following Butch Cox, and when they pull Butch Cox over, you've got a bag with $30,000 in it. And he's like, "These two people put me up to it." And when they opened up the door, when they got the search warrant, they went in, they were counting all the money.
Wow. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Pretty
Oh,
crazy.
listen, everything in the life of a fisherman, man.
How
Li-
about
I-
it?
It's so funny because not until we started fishing did I freak out about it.
Right.
You know, when
Realize what could have happened.
exactly. Once we started, those times when you're just going up and down the drop and you're just looking at the spread and your brain is going, and it's like, holy shit, I had a loaded gun pointed at my fucking face.
How about it?
What? And listen, and you remember what St. Thomas was like back then, right at the beginning of the moon where everybody was there.
Right.
That was like the talk of the fucking town.
For sure.
That was the talk of the town. Everybody, "Did you really get involved in a bank robbery?" "Yeah, I got involved in a bank robbery. Here, let me show you the
Yeah.
pictures." That's my
Funny
short.
you brought up John Tierney. I talked to him yesterday for quite some time, and
Really, what's
he's
he
doing
doing?
good. And he's he's hanging out, retired, and he is going to Cape Verde again this year.
Nice. Who's he going with? Is he going by himself or?
No, he's going with a friend of his, two friends. He's going with Dan Pimentel, and I don't remember the other fellow's name, but
Okay.
he's he's signed up to go fishing.
That
Happy
man,
for
that's
him.
great. That's great.
Absolutely.
I started fishing with John. John fished with us a lot when I was with Billy Bohr on the Topless. You
Right.
know. And again, I knew John from my dad, so I knew him before I started fishing.
Right.
So it was just neat to see John. Here's somebody from my hometown because he was an attorney in my hometown. And no matter where I go in the world, and to this day, he still doesn't call me Fly. He calls me Robert.
Really.
Yeah. He'll call
Well,
me
he's
up.
got some
"Hey,
good fishing stories.
What's that? He's got some great fishing stories.
For sure.
He's got some great fishing stories. I remember when he showed up with the sassy lady over in the BBC when he had that little 43 Merit.
Oh yeah, he tells that story about what they catch a 700 some pounder. He tells that story a lot.
Yeah. Listen, a 700 pounder looks a lot nicer in a fucking 43-foot Merit. 700 pounders look good in a 43 Merit compared to an 80-foot Merit or an 80-foot
There you
Viking.
go.
That
Oh boy.
43, shit. I remember when I went out to Hawaii running that 37 Rybovich. First thing I did is I went to Ropes Inc. down off of State Road 84 and measured everything out and built a block and tackle. And
Uh,
and I'll never forget, Thomas was like, "You think we need a block and tackle?" I'm like, "I don't want to need one and not have one. I am not towing a fish in.
right.
I'm gonna bring that fucker in. I want a picture of my fat ass sleeping on top of her.
There you go.
That's, especially when you're fishing out in Hawaii. Yeah, I had it measured out from my bow cleat. If I had to hook my block and tackle to my bow cleat and either run it through the middle of the inside boat, because that was an open bulkhead, and slide her
Okay.
in that way, or if I needed an angle, I would run that rope all the way across the bridge, down the side of the bridge, and then be able to lift her up with an angle going up.
Right.
Yeah. I had it all measured out.
Did you
And
get
he's
to
like,
use
really?
it?
I go, man, I don't. It's like preparing for bad weather. You want to make sure you have everything you need for bad weather
Right.
when you don't need it.
That would be correct.
Yeah. So, yeah, I always had that block and tackle in there just for that reason. Just for that reason. Listen,
Just like fuel, you better be looking at it than looking for it.
oh my gosh. Yeah. The only time you can't have enough fuel is when there's a fire on board.
Would be correct.
Yeah. I want fuel. I want as much fuel as possible. But yeah,
Oh
listen,
man.
you're in Hawaii. You never know when a 1,400 pounder or an 1,800 pounder is going to show up. What are the chances? One in a million, but there's a chance.
That's right.
And if there's only two of us on board or three of us on board and we can't get it in, I don't want to tow that thing in. I want
Yeah,
that thing
that's not
lying in
cool.
my cockpit with the door strung open with the tail flopping.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I plan ahead, man. Uh, like a Boy Scout.
That's
That's like
right. Be prepared.
that's like going on a hot date and not being ready.
Oh boy. Too much.
And listen, there's something else I want to talk about because it's important to men. You and I did a PSA a few years back,
Correct.
and I'd like to talk about it because I think it's important as people. Once men get to about 70 something, they kind of know. But when guys are my age and younger, they don't. They might not know. They might not be going to doctors regularly. And I think it's very important because you were very blessed uh, to catch it early.
I didn't catch it that early.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I still get phone calls and I still talk to quite a number of people about it because they know I don't mind talking about it. And I might get choked up talking about it. But when I first found out, it was because Becky wanted me to get a real physical, not a physical for your captain's license, where they ask you how you're feeling today, tap you on the knee, and
Send
so
you on
anyway,
your way.
I got this real physical, and this woman called me up and she said, "Hey, you need to see a urologist. Your PSA is really high." And I said, What is that? I had no idea. So I went to the doctor. He said, "You got cancer." I said, "He don't know what he's talking about," because I didn't say all my symptoms. I said, no, I had no problems. So I went to another guy. He said, "You got cancer." I said, "Man, this guy's stupid too." So when the third one told me I had cancer, it was like, wow. So they scheduled my surgery for May the 13th. And I said, "Hey, my birthday is in June. I'll be 65. I'll be on Medicare. Might not cost so much money." And they said, Beck and I were sitting at God's desk, and he said, "If you wait another month, you might not have to worry about who's paying." That was a rude awakening, buddy. I was
Whoa.
like, caught my breath, and I was like, "Can we do it today?" But anyway, wound up doing a video with you. Um, did video to White Marlin Open, an ESPN radio talk show, trying to make people, when you turn 45, to get a PSA check. And to let guys know that all you need is to get a blood test, a simple blood test. You don't need this, just a blood test. And starting at 45 years old, you need to get it. And
Yeah.
if you catch it early, you don't have to go through what I went through. But lucky for me, this May will be 10 years and I'm still
Man,
kicking.
congratulations. I didn't realize it had been 10 years already.
Yeah, it'll
Oh,
be 10
wow.
years in May.
I think it's important, first of all, as much as I love to pick on fishermen because we're hard-headed, uh,
Right,
I, I I don't think it falls under just fishermen. I think it falls under just men being men. Uh,
right.
we don't want to go to the doctor. We don't want to get checked up. Like you said, you got to go every. If you didn't have to go for the captain's license, you probably never go.
Probably. There's
Hey,
nothing wrong with me.
yeah, listen, everything's still running. I don't feel any pain or any unusual pain. Fuck it, keep going.
That's
But
right.
no, you really do. And uh, I'm very blessed because when I worked for Jim, Jim had a private doctor. So part of that was we were part of the family, and
Right,
he was our private doctor as well. And even when I left the real tight, I would just have to pay for it on my own, but I have a private doctor. So
right,
I go see him every 3 months, and twice a year I get my PSA checked because he's checking my blood anyway. So
right,
it's just an extra box. So for whatever 25 bucks it is to run the PSA part, you check the box and make sure everything is looking copacetic. And sometimes you find something else, you know? Hey,
right.
there's this thing going on, there's that thing going on. And sometimes it's not a big deal, but it's better to find out early. It's like finding metal shavings in your engine. Why am I getting metal shavings? You know,
Yeah,
your O-ring's starting to wear out.
yeah. Let's fix it now before it blows apart.
Yeah, before it's a big issue.
Right.
Yeah. So that was something you had reached out to me and Adriana as well.
That's correct. Her husband had passed away from prostate cancer, and she had some fishing tournaments that offered free blood tests to any guys that signed up in that tournament.
So I wanted to give you guys a platform to talk on it about it. And we did,
Got a lot of
and
response from it.
got a lot of response from it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of response from it. And that was something, I wanted to talk about again today because especially the young guys, 25, 30. No, you gotta keep an eye on it. Just, hey man,
Yeah.
You take apart your rods and reels, you take apart your engines. Do it now while you can, while your body's healthy, because when you get older, your body's not able to bounce back as easy.
Takes time to bounce back. That's for sure.
Fuck.
Oh
One of
man.
the reasons why I quit drinking. It takes too long to bounce back.
There you go.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh. It's
But yeah,
just, you got to
it's a
take
good
care of
thing you brought
yourself.
it up. Maybe somebody will go get their PSA checked because of this conversation.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up. Somebody might either go get it checked, somebody might reach out. Hey, Fly, what was the name of that test? And I just want to talk about it,
Yeah.
because a lot of times, oh no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. No, you fucking talk about it, dude. Listen,
No,
I
I
love
had a,
telling this. I love telling this story, so I'm gonna share it with you. You know, Snicky and Blaine Champlin.
yeah,
Okay, so the three of us were going fishing. I can't remember if it was the Buccaneer or the Silver Sailfish Derby, but we were on the Lily, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's dark. I was in my early to mid 40s, so about 10 years ago. And Blaine's a couple years younger than me. Snicky's a couple years older than me, and we're trying to tie our lines. And you can see we're all turning and holding the line up to the light so we can see it because nobody wanted to run in and get their glasses. It was
right.
you were still you can still not carry them around everywhere. Now these things are glued to me. I had a podcast with somebody the other day. I went 20 minutes without wearing them, and I'm like, I, I might as well just shut off the fucking screen. I can't see nothing, you know? So we're sitting there, we're trying to hold it up to the light. I'm like, look at us. I remember when we used to come home stumbling drunk from the bar, rigging baits so we could run out to the canyons. And now we're here trying to hold up the line to the lights. I go, another 10 years, we're going to talk whether we took a good poop or not. Like, what the fuck is going on with us, guys?
Oh
Uh,
boy.
but listen, I'm going to be honest. I love the fact, at least in our industry, like, I have a lot of friends that are they were in professional baseball, professional football, and our lifestyles is very similar to that because you travel with all these guys all
Right.
over the world, because 50% of the guys that were in St. Thomas would go to Venezuela. And then 60% of them were in Dominican Republic. And then 80% of them are in Mexico. So you see the same people over and over, or maybe you
Right.
miss somebody for a couple of years. But we get so much longer uh, a longer lifespan because we can stay. You can move from player in the cockpit to coach as the captain,
Right.
and you stay around it long enough. And in my case, I was able to build a business that keeps me in around the same guys, and so we can make fun of ourselves as we're getting older.
Right.
Hey, remember that time we had to put you in the wheelbarrow and carry you across the street from XO? Fuck. Yeah, I remember that day. You know.
Oh
So
boy.
it's I enjoy sharing the stories of getting older, but at the same time,
Right.
I also want to highlight like your story. Hey man, don't take it for granted. We're not immortal. We were in our 20s.
Correct.
We were in our 20s. We're
Oh
not
boy.
immortal. You got to take care of yourself. You got to eat better. You got to go behind XO and run in the mornings. Just stay away from the dogs. Man, there was somebody that had two Doberman pinchers. The first run up the hill was always the scariest because I never knew if those Dobermans were out or not. And 90% of the time, they were locked up. But that 10%, when you run up the hill and they ran out at you in the dark, that's scary.
That's so.
That was
No, John
scary.
never said anything about those dogs because remember he used to stay in a house up there a lot.
Yeah. I
But I never
listen,
heard worried about the dogs.
I it was enough that scared the shit out of me, man. It scared the
Wow.
shit out of me. Usually it wasn't an issue. It was for me,
Right.
it was so simple. I just go, I had like 100 yards. I just run up 100, walk down, do it 10 times, and that was enough to get the day started. That and a cup of Cuban coffee, you were set.
Oh man. A funny thing about the dogs just popped in my head. I was mating on a boat in Pompano, and the captain had to take it to pipe welders up the New River. And the captain was living on the damn boat. And pipe welders, they had guard dogs in the fenced in area at night. So when he would go to the boat after dinner, he'd always stop and buy a pack of hot dogs and throw them to them dogs so he could climb over the fence and get on his boat.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. He'd bribe them.
That's right.
He'd bribe them. Listen, that goes a long way. How many times did you slip $100 to a dockmaster?
Yeah, whatever works, right?
What? Listen, whatever works. It
Whatever
don't
works.
matter. Yeah, no. I listen, I have no problem. Jim Lambert taught me you tip everybody well and you tip them often. Did you ever hear the story? Tipping people well and often. We're flying into Panama. I was on Jim's plane, and I don't know, we're somewhere over the Caribbean on his plane, and the pilot goes, "Hey, can everybody bring me their passports so I can get all the paperwork filled out?" The look on my face, my eyes go, "Whoa." I was like, "Holy shit." I left my passport on my coffee table
Oh,
at home. And I'm freaking out because I'm on the plane with Jim
right.
and I don't want to hold up my boss. But this was the giant but. I He would always give me $200 in small bills, and I'd go around and I'd tip everybody. I'd tip the customs, give everybody $10, $20, whatever. Hey, here's $20. Here's $20. Here's $20. There was one time I even went into the air traffic control and I gave them $20 each because we didn't fly into the big public airport. We flew into the old military base. So it was very small. It was private. It wasn't Tacoman. It was, it'll come to me. So I get up, I collect everybody's passports, and I walk up to the pilot, and he goes, "You forgot your passport, didn't you?" I'm like, "I left it on my coffee table. I pulled it out of my bag to look at something, and I left it on my fucking coffee table."
Wow.
He goes, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I always took care of all the passports anyway. I'd always, even when I was on land, uh, I would go onto the plane, grab everybody's passport, and then walk them in to immigration. So the immigration guy knew me. I would always handle all that stuff for Jim.
Right.
And after he cleared everybody, so I went in with my driver's license. No, I had been in there 100 times. I had flown in a few times. It's like me knowing you on the dock. And uh, I went with my driver's license and whatever his name was, Fernando or whatever. I'm like, "Hey man, I have a problem." I says, "Everybody else is fine, but I have a problem." And he goes, "What's your problem?" And I'm like, "I left my passport uh, on my coffee table. And I'm going to get somebody to drive it down to the pilots right now, or I can get somebody to FedEx it to me tonight and I can have it to you by tomorrow." He's like, "When?" when are they coming back to pick up your boss? And I says, right now he's scheduled for whatever it was, 15 days. He goes, just put it on the plane uh 15 days from now. And he goes, I know who you are. You've checked in with me 100 times. It's not like I need, I know you. So, and the reason he knew me was I was in there every 2 weeks giving everybody $20. Tip
Right.
everybody well and tip them often.
Right.
Uh, he knew who I was. He's seen my passport. I had plenty of those slips in my passport. So he's like, yeah, just, you know, fly it down next time. And we did. When I came to pick up the boss, pilot comes right back over and gives me my passport. And now I don't even take my passport out of my bag unless I'm checking in. My bag
Right.
right now is in the other room. I have my passport and I have my captain's license right next to each other.
Oh boy.
I don't.
Money talks.
Woo!
One
That's
time we were getting ready to go to Bahamas. I was working on a DAC, and you got to send your old passport in to get a new one. And my new one came back, and somehow it disappeared in the junk mail. So I'm getting ready to leave the next morning to go Bahamas and realize what happened. Becky's in a panic. So I called over to where we go and called the immigration guy, told him what happened, and he said, I'm sure that we can work something out when you get here. So just like you, I went to check the crew in with $100 bill laying on top of the rest of the passports and enjoy your stay.
Yeah, listen, it happens. It also helps when you're dealing with people that only deal with at most 20 people in a day. So they get to
Right,
know people. It's not like you're at an airport where there's 20,000 people a day.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
there's 20 people a day. You go in there 6 or 7 times a year. They know who you are, and shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens. I one
Yeah.
time went over, I didn't even know. I went over, it was Chubb, just the same. Uh Eddie comes back to the boat. We cleared in. We went over, I don't know, some January. And he comes back. He's like, "Hey, Fly, just so you know, they let you in, but your passport expired 2 months ago." I'm like, "Oh shit." So I got home and I expedited it. I got a new one. I For me, I've always expedited them. I can't be without a pass. Shit, there was one time I went down to the passport office. I The first time I went to Saudi Arabia, you need 2 pages next to each other back then, because they need to put your visa on one side and they need to be able to write on the other. I didn't have
Right.
2 pages together.
I was filled up.
Yeah, it was filled up. So I went down there with all my paperwork, with my ticket, the whole 9 yards, and um, I went in there, made myself an appointment, filled everything out, and then I came back that afternoon, brand new passport. Then I didn't have enough time, so I had to jump on a plane the next day and fly up to New York City and hand it directly to the Saudi Arabian consulate.
Wow.
And with a FedEx package, and they glued the paperwork in there and sent it to me.
Wow.
Now it's all e-visa.
Crazy.
It's it's super simple. That passport is going to be, I've got, like, during COVID, they wouldn't let me in to Japan normally because of all the COVID restrictions. So I would have to go to the Japanese consulate and apply for a special permit. So I got a couple of Japanese visas in there. I have a Chinese visa. I went to China back in 17. So that's
Wow.
good for 10 years. I was thinking of going to China this year to go to China fish, but decided not to. I got enough other shit going on, but I've been dying to go. I was supposed to go to China Fish, which is like ICAST, which all the new fishing reels and lines and all the
Right.
new apparatuses. I was supposed to go in January of 2020. And we know what happened in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, I had everything lined up. I was going. I was going to go to China Fish and then I was going to go to Osaka Fish. And I had all these meetings lined up with all these. I was doing some stuff with the Saudis where I was going to go meet all these new fishermen. I had my translator. She was. I met her when the government flew me in there for the tourism stuff, and I had her lined up. And this this virus came out, and they were shutting down towns. And little by little, I'm starting to get messages. Fly, I'm sorry I can't meet you because I can't leave my town. They've locked it up. And so I went from like 15 meetings to 12 to 9. And then once my interpreter said, I'm stuck, I'm like, I'm canceling my trip.
Wow.
I'm not flying into China if I don't have an interpreter.
That would be difficult.
Yeah, that would, no, I don't want to play that game. I don't want to play. And she's a great interpreter. When I went there, I was invited by the college, the University of China, Beijing. So she was a student there, and um, everybody had their own interpreter, which was way cool. We were talking about tourism. They asked me to go in and speak how I use social media to promote fishing and tourism. I'm like,
How about
I I didn't know I was doing that. But once they gave me that idea, I'm like, well, actually, I am doing that. I should incorporate that in my business, and that's what I do now. Now I just work with governments to promote fishing.
that's
That's what
cool.
I've been doing with the Saudi government, working
Right.
with them to incorporate fishing as a part of the overall tourism package. Because it's a huge part of tourism when you think that, I mean, think about the charters you did over the years. People come in, they got to get a hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
They go to restaurants. Then you buy fuel, you hire local people. I mean, there's a huge economy that is wrapped around sport fishing.
Absolutely.
It's huge, and we take it for granted at home because it's so incorporated with everyday life. But when we go to these countries, you go to Costa Rica, you go to Venezuela, you go to St. Thomas. Think about Red Hook in St. Thomas when we were down there. We were we were the economy because nothing
That's
happens
right.
during the summertime.
But no, it's pretty amazing. And John Bayless has done a lot for Dare County when they're talking about always trying to get the inlet dredged and jetties put up and all that stuff. About how much money is brought into Dare County with what you said. If you're coming there to go fishing one day, more than likely that's 2 nights in a motel for you, maybe three.
Yeah.
Dinners out in restaurants, gasoline. There's so many people involved in what it
At least
takes to
one
go
breakfast
fishing
is
for a
salmon
day.
homies.
Yeah. I mean, you wind up spending a lot of money other than the cost of the boat.
The boat, the cost of the boat. It's you know what? It's one of the things that I've been having such a huge conversation about this shark problem we're having. It's like, listen, right now it's a fisheries problem. They're eating the fish that these people are chartering boats to go out there. But if you're spending 2,500 or $3,000 to go fishing to catch five tunas or 10 snappers, but they're getting all eaten by the sharks, And those people start saying, hey man, I'm not going to pay 3,000 a day to feed the sharks. Screw
Right.
you guys. I'm not going to charter the boat anymore. I go, it's not the boat, just the boat. It's the hotels, it's the restaurants, it's all the extra stuff. You
Yeah.
know, are they bringing their families with them? If they're bringing their families with them, what's the families doing during the day? And if they decide, you know what, I'm not going to go fishing here anymore because of the sharks, I'm going to go to Costa Rica, I'm going to go somewhere else, that's money being lost in the local economy. That's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
It adds up. Hotel rooms, houses
Yeah.
rented,
And
big
especially,
deal.
listen, Dare County is unique because they had compared. I say it's unique compared to somewhere, let's say like Ocean City. Ocean City is very much 3 months, maybe four. Dare
Right.
County gets a little bit longer because you got tuna season. Uh, Even before the full summer rush comes in, you got people coming in trying to catch a bunch of Dorado during the Dorado season. So fishing is still a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's not like Ocean City where uh, once everybody goes to school, then the diehards will come in and catch white marlin and some of the albacore, but after that,
Right.
it's done. It's done.
When I first went to Oregon Inlet, you didn't start charter fishing until Memorial Day and Labor Day. It was over with.
Oh wow,
Now, now some of the best tuna fishing is in December, January, February. Then you had
exactly.
the bluefins show up. So there's people coming fishing there all year long.
It it's a thriving business out
Yeah.
of Dare County.
Yep. Big deal.
It's a huge deal. They got a new program going on. I had flown out there 2 years ago. Uh, the superintendent of Dare County had reached out. Um, Goes to show you a small world. My best friend, his sister-in-law is the assistant superintendent. So she knew my connection to the fishing worlds, and she reached out to me. Hey, do you think you can help us put a curriculum together on um, these in boat building? And I'm like, yeah, I can, but you do realize that you have some of the greatest boat builders in the world right here in Dare County.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the superintendent used to go to school with a mutual friend by the name of Charles Perry. So him and I sat there and started talking, and he goes, you know Charles Perry? I go, fuck do I know Charles Perry?
Who doesn't know Charles
Who
Perry?
doesn't know Charles? Long story short, they're doing some stuff with John Bayless now. They're doing some
Oh,
stuff with
cool.
John Bayless now. And then I just found out last weekend that my best friend's brother is the principal of Manio High School.
Be darned. Small
Yeah,
world, ain't it?
it's a tiny little world. Well, I told him, I go, hey, because he's Colombian. I go, how many other Colombians are up there in Manio? He goes, my head of janitorial is Colombian. I'm like, perfect. You feel right at home.
Oh boy. Too
I
much.
go, man, the chances of you growing up in our neighborhood and becoming the principal at Manio High School is hilarious.
How about it?
Yeah, because Manio's a tiny little town.
Yes, it is.
It's a great town, though. I like it. And you want to talk about who doesn't know Charles Perry? That guy is like, he is a fucking legend in Manio. I've never waited in line anywhere when I'm with Charles Perry. There could be a line of people out the fucking door. CP, come on in.
That's right.
There, uh-uh. The only foul thing that ever happened to me with Charles Perry, there was the inlet shift at Oregon Inlet during Pirates Cove. So him and I were playing the Oh my gosh, I think we were playing the red buoy. I can't remember off the top of my head. So the red buoy had been washed away or something, and so we anchored up there to make sure nobody would go on the shoal.
Okay.
And as we're going, here comes Bull Tolson on the Sea Toy, and he's coming right at us. And I'm like, I know he sees us. And I'm like, are we going to get run over? And literally, he came so close. He goes, why are you guys here and not out catching clam? It's like, that's exactly where we're going when we're done with you, man.
Oh boy.
That was funny.
Wow.
It was hilarious. But again,
Damn.
it's that fraternity. You go wherever you go, it don't matter. We're all
That's right.
fishermen.
Yep.
We're all fishermen. We all hang out. We all tell the same fucking stories. To me, that's one of the funniest things that when I'm talking to, do you remember Bob Lane and Rob Lane on the
Oh
Lady
yeah.
Lane?
That's great.
So Rob and I were texting the other day, and then a memory popped up of him and I. He had called me up and he goes, hey man, I got a weekend off. I want to go fishing. And I'm like, okay, let's go fishing. He's like, can it just be you and I don't have the money to go to hire a maid. I go, fuck it, let's just me and you go. So he was going to sit in the cockpit and fly the kites. And then I was going to be up on the bridge. I'm like, this is going to suck. You're going to be by yourself down there, and I'm going to be by myself up here. So I put together a pigtail for the kite reel, so I could run the kite from the bridge, and he can run all the
Right.
rods. So we could at least sit together and hang out
There you
and
go.
talk. So we ran three kite baits, the kite from up there, and whenever we'd hook a sailfish, I'd pass the rod down to him. But all the Dorados, he'd fight from the bridge, and then we'd just we'd flip them into the cockpit from the bridge. I go, give me that leader. Whack. We had the bbest fucking time,
Oh man.
And I was telling somebody the story the other day, and they're like, wait a second, how big was that boat? I go, 61 foot. And they're like, you were doing that on a 61-foot boat? I'm like, I I don't know any better. That it's just a boat.
Right.
I don't look at it as a big boat. It's just what we do. We're going fishing.
That's right.
Let's go fishing.
Oh
We had the
boy.
greatest time. And sure enough, it wasn't a week later, that picture popped up on social media and Rob shared it. We were just talking about this.
Be damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
listen, it don't matter if it's 60 foot or 12. You go do what you want to do with it. It's a tool to go fishing.
That's right.
It's a tool. You go, and I don't say I can't do this because it's a big boat. Fuck. Just
Oh
you
man.
just go
Six,
do it. Have a good time. That's
60 feet's not big anymore.
Oh my God. I remember when we showed up with that 80 footer, they're like, you can't catch blue marlin. You can't catch blue marlin. I'm like, okay. I, I just played dumb. I didn't know any better. I just kept fishing.
Right.
Speaking
Oh,
of, and I'm not going to go into all the gory details, but I remember one day we were fishing on the off moon. I just remembered about, uh, we were fishing. There was only two boats on the drop. It was us and you. And we had spaghetti and meatballs for dinner the night before. So spaghetti night is always followed by spaghetti lunch. And I remember I floated you over uh, pasta, spaghetti and meatballs, garlic bread, and dessert.
correct. And a couple of napkins. Oh
I got
boy.
this big old garbage bag. What are you doing? I go, man, this is for Captain Butch. I promised him fucking spaghetti for lunch. And he wants garlic bread too.
Oh man. Too much.
That was so funny.
That was a good one for
That was
sure.
a fucking great one. When there's nobody on the drop, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
That's right.
That's the way I
Um,
see it.
yeah.
That's the way I see it. Listen, who else? I mean, the sharks might come up and eat it, but uh, it was plastic. They couldn't smell through the plastic.
Oh boy, that was a funny one.
Oh my
No
gosh, that
doubt.
was great. That was
Oh
wow, that was a
boy.
long time ago too.
How about it?
Yeah, that was
That was fun.
oh my gosh.
That'd be 15 years ago at least.
I would say at least 15 years ago.
At least.
At least 15.
Yeah.
It might have even been longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, oh
Wow.
my God, that's so funny. Complete dark of the moon. Nobody's going out fishing. Let's go fishing. Okay, let's go. Oh my
Uh,
gosh. Now, I also want to talk about, here's another thing I want to talk about because I have to give a lot of credit to you and to Ed Dunn, and I tell it all the time. My tournaments that I host over in Chubb, that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you and Ed. You guys
I'm
were the
glad that
ones
it
that
worked out.
recommended me to help them put that tournament together.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, it's worked out great. We have a full series now. We have three tournaments. I guess they tried to do a tournament and they got like three boats in it. And you and Ed, like, why don't you call Fly? You reached out to me and you introduced me to everybody over there, and uh, we put it together, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were spending a lot of time at Chubb back then.
Yeah, we went quite a bit of time over there.
Ed, when you were with Ed, he had two boats, didn't he? He still had the one in Costa Rica and the one on the
One
East
here in the
Coast.
States. That's
Okay.
correct. Yep. He loves to fish, and that was what I call a real fishing job. It was the majority of the time it was Ed, myself, and our mate. And when the boat slowed down in the morning, Ed was out there helping to put the baits out, and Ed paid attention all day. That was a lot different than today's programs. And his program is still that way.
No, he's still fishing. He always fishes the members tournament. It's the
Yeah.
only one that doesn't overlap with the Los Sueños stuff.
Right. And he loves his boats, loves to fish, and he does really well at it.
He puts his heart and soul in it.
Yes, he does.
It goes a long way when you can put your heart and soul in it.
When I first went to work with him, one time I said, what are you thinking about the weather? He said, well, as long as you don't think it's dangerous and you feel good, I'm ready to go. And I was like, hell yeah.
There you go.
We didn't sit at the dock, we went fishing.
As long
And
as
and
long as it's not dangerous.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then the other thing was I was like, man, he don't bring anybody. And one day I asked, I said, anybody coming? He said, nope. I used to ask people to come fishing. What time are we leaving? What time are we coming back? What if it gets rough? What if it's raining? He said, I just quit asking because I'm going fishing. So it was perfect.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Jim was like that too. I mean, he had a handful going back to Pete Buenas. Pete was one of the, Pete would never complain.
That's right.
He'd never complain about, hey, it's rough. Are we going? How long are we staying? No, Pete didn't care. He just sat there and got picked on like everybody else.
I used to have Joe Zimmer fish with me fly fishing in Mexico. And he would book me for 30 days at a time.
Wow.
And the first time that we did that, one day, nobody else was going fishing. And Joe said, what are you doing? I said, well, nobody's going fishing. Have you ever caught one here at this dock? I said, no. He said, is it dangerous? I said, no, it'd be miserable, but not dangerous.
Let's
See
go.
you later.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, but listen, as long as it's not dangerous, it's gonna be
We came back
miserable.
one time. He booked me for 30 days and we fished 29 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that one day that you didn't go, how bad was it?
It was bad because when it was real bad, I used to go on the inside of Contoy.
Okay.
So, and there was one sandbar up there that y- sometimes the waves would break on that sandbar. And I got to that bar and the wave broke and the fish box lid fell down in the box. And I said, you know what? That's enough. And I turned around and went back. And Joe never came out of the cabin or nothing. We got back to the dock, tied the boat up. He said, what happened? I said something like, Joe, it's ridiculous. So what are we going to do? I said, you never see the island. So we went up to Anthony. We went up to the swing bar to get lunch. Of course, the wind's blowing a gale. Sand's flying in his sandwich. He takes a bite. He's got sand in his sandwich. And then some girl walks by with no top on. And he's like, holy shit, this is nice.
See all the shit you missed by being out there all day long?
Oh, man.
You know what? I really like Isla. Isla's one. I remember going down there back in the day when it was Cancun over at Jim Schwartz's place. And Jim Schwartz's place was phenomenal. It really
Right,
was. But once we moved over to Isla, you were encapsulated.
right,
Cancun, you could still go out and get the craziness, which was fun when you were in your 20s, but after a while it just became a distraction.
right,
And Isla was great because even if you went out, it wasn't a distraction. It was still that small island feel.
right.
You can go out, there's a couple nightclubs you can hang out at, a couple bars, and get into whatever kind of trouble you really wanted to.
Yeah,
But it wasn't like this huge distraction where you could get lost in Cancun for a couple of days,
right.
which I was known to do that on occasions if you had a week off.
No,
Oh,
I loved Eastland Harris. When I first started going there, the streets were dirt. And, but no, what a great place.
it's phenomenal. That's where when we broke the record with with Earl on the sea trial and caught all those sailfish, and we came in, we literally it was a roving golf cart ride throughout the entire island. A couple bottles of tequila, scorpion juice, and I think we were
Oh,
completely
man.
passed out by 9 o'clock. So
Wow.
we were harmless. We we shot our wad really too early.
Right.
Once
Nope. It's a great spot.
it's phenomenal. I haven't been in forever. When was the last time you were there?
Golly day. Um, I'll tell you when was the last time was 2012, and I took the Alina down there for Eric Mansour.
Really?
Yep. I picked the
Okay.
boat up in North Carolina and took it to Isla Harris.
Okay. I'm trying to think. It might have been 2010 last time I was there.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot has changed.
Oh yeah. Anthony's got it going on. He's got like 5 boats now.
Does he? I see some pictures online. I'm half
Yeah.
tempted to just fly down there for a weekend and hang out and just wait till I see that the weather's bad and fly down there just so I can have soup with everybody on the dock.
Well, his restaurant is going strong there now.
Really?
Yeah.
I
His
should
daughter
I should
runs a restaurant.
I should make a plan. I should call what's his face? John Briggs and find out when he's down there on the
John
ditch
Briggs,
digger.
you think about John Brooks.
Brooks, I'm sorry. John Brooks
Yeah,
on
he's
the
down
ditch
there
thing.
now.
Yeah, I should call him up.
You know who else you can drag down there anytime is Scott Kerrigan.
You know what? I just had him on the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet. I had him out.
Okay.
Hey, man, since this whole thing happened on January 3rd, he's just popping out these pictures and they're so
Right,
enticing. So I shot
right.
him a text message, very similar to me and you. I don't want to get on the phone and talk because we're going to tell all the good stories when we're on the phone. So I send him a text message, Scotty, Fly, what are you doing? Let's talk about these pictures. Okay. When do you want to talk about them? On my podcast. What's your schedule look like? So I put him on and we talked about him missing his finger and
Right.
yeah, so I had him on and just a pleasure. Scotty's just phenomenal.
Oh man, he fished with me a many a day. And I remember before all the digital stuff and the fancy phones, one time in Mexico, this when he had to come home and get his film developed. He took a picture one day and he said, I'm going home. I just got the picture I need. I was like, man, you can't leave. I just got it. I got the picture. He wound up staying and he flew home at the end of the week. And that picture had a shadow in it. And back then, there's nothing you could do about it. So this picture was worthless.
Oh,
Pretty crazy business.
man.
And
That's
then,
one of the things that we talked about is how much things have changed because you'd have to sit on film for a week until your cycle was done and then go
so
home and
one,
have it developed.
one time in Venezuela, I can't, having a brain fart on the captain's name, guy from the Keys was running a Hatteras. And we were down by the power plant that day. And Scott was riding with me as always. And I see they got this blue marlin on and said, hey, yell at me if we get too close. So we get over there, we get a picture of that boat with the fish on the wire, totally aired out, mountains in the background, and Scott is extremely happy. So he gets home because Hatteras wanted to buy the picture, and the boat was a previous year's model, not this year's model. So the picture was worthless.
Oh, that's crazy.
Boat was not the new model. Who the hell would know the difference? Guess some guy buying a Hatteras would know the difference.
Yeah. We do have it spoiled now. That all you have to do is look at it. I over the years, I remember when we were younger, when I was really younger, one of the things that you always wanted was a great picture of you on the wire to make the cover of Marlin magazine. And
Right.
I had never gotten, to this day, I've never gotten one where I was on the wire with the fish, but I did have one that I was wiring the fish that Scotty got a picture of and made the cover.
That's
And
funny. Go ahead.
no, and I said the best part about it was a few months later, Marlon would have these little stories like on the second or third page where people would write stuff in. There was a there was an army guy with that with that magazine with the Blue Marlin somewhere in Iraq.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, that's my Blue Marlin.
How about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, now what were you saying?
So Scott was always riding with me to take his pictures. So one day I'm like, dude, everybody's got a picture of their boat fighting a fish except me. You need to get the hell off of my boat tomorrow. So the next day, this was in St. Thomas. So the next day, he got on a boat with LR and he told LR to hang with me. First thing you know, we got a nice blue marlin. We're fighting, and John Tierney was in the chair, and VJ Bell was my mate, and we got his picture of me in the prime time, and that with the fish aired out, and that picture hit a many a magazine.
That's cool
And
as shit.
John Tierney had Scott make a big print for me, and it's hanging on the wall in the house now. But that's the one day he got off my boat, and it all worked out like clockwork.
You got to love when a plan comes together.
Yeah, how about it?
I have a picture in my phone Scotty took when he was on the Revenge. Billy Bohr was running the boat. John Tierney was holding on to one of the tower legs. Spunky from the Real Inn in Ocean City was holding on to the other leg. Scott
Seen
was,
that picture.
what's that?
I've seen that picture.
Yeah. And Randy
Yeah,
was on the wire and I'm on the tag stick with a little blue marlin jumping midair.
right.
It's a great picture. I have it in my phone. And then I have the
Right.
one a few minutes later once we got rid of the fish and we're putting the spread back out. But it's one of my favorite pictures.
I got another one that Scott took, and Poncho was my mate, and he got a picture of I guess it was a blue one, of Poncho on the wire in the back of the prime time, and that made a cover shot. You
Wow.
never heard anybody as excited as Poncho. He's like, I am famous. I am famous. He, he was so excited, boy.
Oh my
He
God,
was
how
happy.
awesome is that?
Oh, man.
Old Poncho. What's he
Yeah.
doing now? I know he was down there for the big shindig.
Well, he's been working for a fella out of Charleston, South Carolina for quite some time, and they just bought another boat. And as we speak, Poncho is tied up at the Buccaneer.
Oh, really?
He's here for a little bit as people want a chance to catch a sailfish. And then he's going to take a boat back to Panama.
Okay. So it's
But he just got to
the same guys that he's been with that he's been down in Panama for.
same people.
Okay, that's nice. He's been with them for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
So he just got to the Buccaneer just this past week.
I'll be damned. Well, when I get home, I'm going to have to swing by there. Give me an
Yeah, man.
excuse to get out of the house and stretch the legs.
When are you coming back? This way.
Uh, I leave here Monday night and I get home Tuesday morning. I'm taking the red eye.
Okay.
Yeah, I just came out here for the week. We had
Yeah.
I do we host an albacore tournament out here for the military. We get
Right.
military members out fishing and hunting, and we just added a salmon division to it. So every year, all the planning gets kind of pushed until April or May, and I'm like, man, I can't do that. My schedule's too busy to wait till the last minute. So I said, let's come out to the house. You guys come here. Let's work on it. So Wednesday and Thursday, we kind of knocked everything out. And it gave me an excuse. I came out to the house and there were some things that needed to get fixed, opening it back
Right.
up after the winter. And I got here and I called Naomi. I'm like, hey, quick question about this. Oh my God, it's not just time out. Hold on. Let's real simple shit. Nothing, turn on the water faucet in the bathroom and it's not running. And it ended up being, it got calcified because the water's so hard. When we shut
Oh,
off the water, it created calcification on the little screen. So I just took it all apart and let it soak in CLR. Just, it's no different than a boat.
right.
Just little
You
shit
got to
like that.
use it. Yeah.
You got to use it. And, we
That's
shut it down
right.
for the winter. And I say shut it down for the winter. We were here for Thanksgiving. And then she's not coming out until April. So I said, well, this is perfect. I kind of like it because the days are short. So it forces me, I can do a couple things outside, but it forces me to work all day long, Not that I need anybody to force me. If anything, this bench, nobody can see it right now. I've got two cushions on it. So, because it's just a regular wooden bench, it's, it is what it is.
Right.
But when I'm working normally, I can maybe sit for 30 to 45 minutes and I got to get up and walk around. So if you see me scoot from one side to the others, I'm shifting the weight on my buttocks, you know, or I'll
Oh
kick my
man.
leg up, whatever. But I enjoy it. I enjoy coming out here. It's quiet.
Right.
Um, it's kind of like the off moon when there's nobody on the dock and there's nobody to bother you. You get a lot of shit done. You know,
Yeah.
you start little projects, and I've been putting things where they need to be, and kind of like a boat.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I enjoy it, and but I get back home on Tuesday, and then I got a busy week that week. I've got all these weird little things like I gotta go. I gotta go for a doctor's visit. Then my best friend, he's not in town, and his son, they're having donuts with dad. So they asked me, "Hey, can you go with?" He's 4 years old, and he doesn't want. They didn't want all the other kids to have their dads in there, and he's out working. And he's like, "Can you go with them?" I'm like, "Yeah, donuts with Uncle Fly, man. Come on."
How about that?
Yeah, I'm fired up.
We
It's
gotta
better him
arrange
having kids than me. What's that?
maybe there's a day you could have a 9 o'clock breakfast and get a bunch of people from around and meet for breakfast one day.
Let's do it. I'm happy to do it.
Get the
You know,
big table at Hobos to get John Tierney, get Poncho, anybody else you can think of to show up for breakfast.
I'll, let's plan something.
Okay.
I'm happy to do it. I'll put a. Yeah, are you on the group chat for the? It bothered the fuck out of me once I started getting included on the old timers lunch. Kevin, Tom, Jackie Morrow used to put on the old
I went
timers
to that
lunch.
a few times. Yeah.
So out of nowhere, I'm getting the invite, and I'm like, "What is this? Oh, they put you on the old timers."
Right.
I'm like, "How the fuck did I get on the old timers lunch?"
Oh man.
No, I'd love to do it. I'd love to give me an excuse to go into town, because I live out west of town now, so I don't come in very often.
Okay.
When Mike was still at Viking, I would go once a week. I'd go in just to see Mike and give me an excuse to go into town.
Right.
And now that he doesn't work at Viking, I'm always looking for an excuse to, 'cause, there's always something that can be done in town. You know, go hang out and see all the boys, go to the marina. I sit behind the fucking computer, and every once in a while, Naomi will come in at the end of her day and I'm still in my pajamas. She goes, "Did you move?" And I'm like, "Shit, it's already that time of day." I'm like, "I haven't showered. I'm still in my pajamas. I've been on phone calls all day long."
Wow.
That's one of the good
Wow.
thing about the podcast. It forces me. Uh, I like to wake up, drink my coffee, take a shower, at least put clothes on.
Right.
You know, because sometimes you get so busy. Like I got people in Japan. I'll start talking to them at 5:30 in the morning, and then before you know it, somebody calls you. It's 8, and then you talk to them till 10. And I'm not complaining because it's always talking about fishing, some way,
Right.
shape, or form. It's like, hey, what can we do with this? What can we do with that? So I'm not complaining. It just you hang up one, you pick up the other,
Start another
and
one.
then before you know it, so yeah, I try to make sure the podcast helps me, number one, pull away from all of it for a little bit, and catch up with friends that I haven't been talking to for a while,
Right.
you know? Because you start getting into that same repetition. There's tournaments coming up, and you're talking to the same people over and over again. Well, this forces me. I hadn't talked to you in a while. I hadn't talked to Scotty in a while. Uh, I get to catch up with all my friends, and then because I catch up with you, the world gets to hear it too.
There you go.
I think for me, that's the greatest part,
Yeah.
because a lot of times my friends are really enjoying it, you know. Man, I haven't seen Butch in a while. The other day I had John Stark on. Oh man, I haven't seen John Stark in 15 years. So I'm getting a lot of messages like that. But I just had a guy the other day reach out to me, don't know who he is. He's like, oh my gosh, this is great. I just so happened to come across it on social media. I'm going to be going to Casa de Campo. Do you know anybody I can charter down there? And I gave him Pete Manuel's number, you know, and I'm happy I can help people. People
Yeah,
like
for
to hear
sure.
fishing stories. There's always some kind of crazy cockamamie bank robbery story or
Right.
uh, feeding iguanas at Molly Malone's or something like that.
Oh boy.
There's always some kind of crazy story we can share. That's the best part, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody, hey, what about you got to tell the bank story? Fuck, I ain't telling it. You got to jump on. I'll trade you. Give me 2 hours of your time,
Uh,
and uh, I'll tell you the story. And here's the other thing. I don't know about you, but for me, one of the things that I've been complaining about, and it's not on anybody but me, because now I spend so much time on the computer and doing all this. I'm missing out on a lot of the new generation, the young kids that are out there now. I'm not.
right.
I'm not getting the opportunity. A good example. The other day, I had Little Worm on here. I met Little Worm when he was 15, 14 or 15 years old. Newt. I met him when he was 14 or 15 years old because I was hustling on the dock. I was fishing. I'm not meeting those 14 and 15-year-old kids anymore. And I want them to have the opportunity to meet guys like the Scotty Kerrigans, uh, the people that were in this industry before them that have opened up these doors. They can go to St. Thomas and they can go to Isla Harris because of the shit you've done.
Right.
I want them to know who the fucking characters before them were. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think it's really important. Listen, I look back and uh there's the Ron Hamlins. I got a chance to meet Ronnie. A lot of
Right.
people don't know who the fuck Ronnie is anymore, you know? And I think it's important and we have the technology to capture this and tell the stories and uh let's capture it. Let's share the stories.
Yeah.
Let's tell the story of our industry,
Right.
you know? I I know how to use the technology, and trust me, I'm not no fucking scientist. It's so funny at 52 years old. People, man, you know computers so well. The fuck I do, man. Listen, if you can use a depth finder and a GPS, you can do what I do. I I don't build the fucking computer. I just know how to use what's on it.
That's funny because when this came up, I said, Becky, you got to be here Saturday morning because you got to hook me up with a Zoom call.
So funny. When I got the text message yesterday, I'm like, oh shit, he don't know how to set up the Zoom. He don't know how to set up the Zoom. So I've been trying for about 3 weeks to get Alan Card on here. You know Alan?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But Alan don't know how to get on the Zoom. So I'm trying to get in touch with his son Ian so I can line up his dad because Ian's gonna have to set up his fucking dad.
Oh boy.
You know? Alan's 80 years old, so I want to get him on here.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I get it. Listen, if you can get from Palm Beach or North Carolina all the way down to fucking Venezuela, you can figure out how to do the Zoom. But when you're not used to it, I get it.
Not used to it.
That's
You
all.
know, when I get talking about like earlier, my first trip to the Panama Canal, we had we had a compass, a radio direction finder, and a chart.
Wow.
There was no GPS or nothing back then.
Wow. You
Times
were
are
like
different, buddy.
you were like Captain Ron. You just pull in and ask for directions. Have you heard of St. Croix? We're going right next door to Ted's.
Oh man.
Oh! No,
Wow.
listen, when I first started working on boats, it's 1992. And I remember in the early 90s, I was working with a captain, Rich Westerlin. We had Loran, but he still made me write everything down on paper charts. I had to use the speed wheel. I remember going through Pamlico Sound with a speed wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made me write everything down and add it all up. And you're sure about that was the worst question in the world. You sure about this? Fuck, I believed everything I added up, but if every time you ask me, are you sure, that puts doubt in. So you double check and it's like, okay, I got it 2 times in a row, same thing. Okay.
And my first trip from Maryland to Florida, which involved a lot of the intercoastal waterway, was those damn fold out paper charts. And we had those pyramid fishing sinkers like you use surf fishing. To put one on the marker where you were, one on the next marker, keep moving the markers on that paper chart.
Holy smokes.
So that when you look down at the chart, you didn't lose track of where you were, you know? Now all you got to do is follow the line on the computer.
I'll tell you what, I went with Mark Blaze. I don't know if you knew Mark Blaze. He's from up in the
Yeah.
Northeast. I was working on a 53 Merit called the Nancy Ann. We went up to Gloucester tuna fishing and we were coming down. And one of my favorite things was using the paper charts and counting the markers.
Right.
It's like a red 13. Oh, I'm sorry, a green 13. It's like, okay. And then in the dark, it's like, wait a second. This one is a flash every 2 seconds. So you got to count. It would tell you how many seconds in between flashes.
Right.
I thought it was the greatest thing. It's like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is amazing. I know exactly where I'm at.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And here we are, nowadays. You know how many times like when you get a charter now and they got their Navionics on. Hey, Cap, I was talking to my friend on Facebook the other day and he told me he caught sailfish right on these numbers.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Too much.
It's changed. The only
Big
thing
time.
constant in life is change.
That's right.
Listen, what's it going to look like 50 years from now when both of us are gone?
I don't know, man. It's so different. You know, like my early trips to Panama and now put the boat on a ship, fly down there, and ride around a fad with sonar.
It's different.
Way
It,
different.
it's listen, when I was talking to Newt the other day, I every year when we get to St. Thomas, my biggest goal every year was I want to catch 100 blue marlins this year. That's my goal. Now some of these guys are catching 100 in a month on these fads. And
Yeah.
I talked to Newt about it. I says, listen, I don't knock it at all. I'm cheering them on. I hope they catch fucking 800 of them in a year. I really do. It's just different than when I was doing it, but I don't complain about it.
Right.
I good on you, man. My job as a fisherman is to catch as many fucking fish as possible every day.
Right.
That's my job. So
Right.
if I can catch 30 in a day, I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Oh, well, you caught it on a fad instead of the bottom. So? So what? Listen, our ancestors used to have to go out and shoot a deer just so they can have meat. Now I can go
Right?
to Publix and buy it on a piece of styrofoam. You don't hear anybody complaining about that shit.
Oh boy.
So I'm not going to complain because no, fucking good on you.
Uh,
I listen. Records are made to be beat. Beat them. Go.
I've never heard it put that way. Go to Publix and buy it on a piece of meat laying on a piece of styrofoam.
Think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, uh, you'd have to, if you wanted some fresh meat, you'd have to find a deer or an elk or a bear or whatever, and you kill it.
Right.
And that was your meat for the year. Now, shit, you don't even have to go to Publix. You can go dressed up. You don't even have to cook that shit. Some fucking hoity-toity guy is going to sprinkle some salt on it. And whabam, and he's going to charge you $200. Listen, it's things change. I get it. Are you going to, unless you're out there fucking with a spear catching your own deer, I don't want to hear you complain about how people catch blue marlin. Fuck it. I really, seriously, I want to cheer young guys on. Man, you're doing a good job. You have that same passion. Listen, you caught 100. I want to catch fucking 300.
Oh man.
I don't care how you catch it. My family background, they were using yo-yos. I got a fucking fishing rod. What, you don't see me fucking complain. You caught 300 blue marlins, but I caught 50 of them with yo-yos. You know what? You're a fucking yo-yo if that's all you're using. You fucking dipwad. Go out there and go catch a fish. You want to fucking pull lures and teasers? Go do that. You want to pull ballyhoos? Do that. You want to put up a kite and use live baits? My job is a fisherman. I catch fish. That's it.
Oh
You
boy, that's
know?
funny.
I mean, really, I mean, that's the way I think about it. Yeah, I get it. It's different.
Right.
Uh, but no, I hope when I'm 80 something years old, I'm watching people catch a bunch of fish and they're using whatever. Now they're using Spectra. Maybe in the future it's going to be Invisalign. I'm going to tack it. I'm going to attach it with a laser and I'm going to reel it in with a fucking laser because there's no
Uh,
breakage. Okay, whatever. I don't know. But I just want to see the fucker come up and eat my bait. That's all.
there you
That's all I
go.
get. Once he eats the bait and he jumps a couple times, if you want to cut the line, cut the fucking line. I don't. We found him. He ate. I'm done.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm happy. We got him on. Do you want to fight? I don't want to fight him. I'll give the rod to somebody else. That's too much like work.
Oh boy.
No, listen, there's no complaints on my part. We're lucky. We're so blessed that we found something we love. We
How about it?
absolutely love, and we've been able to make a living off of it.
When you wake up in the morning and look forward to going to work, you're a lucky person.
Amen. And no 2 days are ever the same. You can go 3 for 5 today on Blue Marlin and 3 for 5 tomorrow on Blue Marlin, and it's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
completely different. You don't know when somebody's going to float you over a bag with all kinds of shit in there. You don't know what's coming. I think that's great. You might go to sleep
Oh,
one night and with a Greek flag up. Next thing you know, some bearded Cuban guy cuts down your flag.
oh man.
poor, poor Pete. Shit,
Uh,
poor little worm when he worked for you. When I
uh,
talked to him the other day, we were talking about gray hairs, and he's like, "Well, Eddie," because he was doc next to Eddie for 4 years over there in Cabo. He goes, Eddie tells him all the time. He goes, Newt, you have gray hairs because you were docked next to Fly for all them years. Ah, poor Newt. I,
Uh,
I rode him like a bad habit, man. I wrote, but this is the way I look at it. If I'm not fucking with you, I don't like you,
right.
you know? And like I said, I met him when he was like 14 years old, 14 or 15. He had these ugly white glasses, that fucking big old afro of blonde hair of his. That's why I call him Little Worm, because if you've
Oh
seen the
man.
movie Friday, the guy that the drug dealer that had the Jerry curl curly hair, they called him Big Perm, Big Worm. So I just started calling him Little Worm because he had the big old fro, man. 14
Right.
years old. Man, that kid didn't care about anything. He just wanted to go fishing. He wanted to be
That's
around
all.
a boat. You let me chamois the boat, please. I just want to be around a boat. How can you not love somebody that wants to be around a boat that much?
Right.
You know? So, yeah. So he reached out to me the other day. It was early in the morning. I was still drinking my coffee. It was like 5:30. It was between 5:30 and 5:40. And I got a text message and it comes up on my phone as Little Worm. And he goes, "Hey man, where can I find your podcast?" And so I shot him the link and I'm like, "Hey, when can I get you on here? You tell me." I go, "How about Monday?" So I got him on Monday. But the funny part was he goes, "Yeah, I was trying to find it. I was driving to the boat and I'm like, oh, it's kind of early." He's like, "Oh, it's Fly. I know he's awake." 5:30, he's awake. So
That's funny you say that because he texted me this morning right about 6 o'clock.
did he really?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, he knows who wakes up early.
that's right.
He knows. And he told me, he's like, now I get it. He goes, I get up at 4:30 because that gives me an hour alone on the boat. And I go, yeah, that's why I did it. Man, when you have a boat with six people on it, there was four of us on the crew. Eddie, me, Joe, Eric, and yeah. So that's four. And then you throw Jim and a friend of his. Before you know it, that's 6, 7 people.
Yeah,
Man, if I get an hour alone, yeah, I'll
you're
wake up
lucky.
early. I
Yeah,
get my cup of coffee. I don't have to talk. I don't want to talk when I first get up. I want my cup of Cuban coffee, and then
there you
once it
go.
goes through the system, then I'm good.
Yeah, I'm up anywhere from 4:30 to 5 o'clock most mornings,
Mhm.
drinking coffee, and some
I
people
think I,
call.
what's that?
You know who you can call at 5 in the morning.
Yeah. You know who gets up. I think I
Yeah,
do it just to make sure I can still get up. I'm like, if something bad's going to happen, it's probably going to happen about 6. So let me wake up early. I don't want
there
the
you go.
bad stuff to get me, man. I'm
Oh
going to
boy.
beat the bad stuff. Oh,
Uh,
here, we're going to end this on this joke. I can't
okay.
remember. There was a Walter Matthau. He was uh he was on the Johnny Carson show. You remember Walter Matthau, right?
I remembered it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Walter Matthau was there at Johnny Carson. He goes, my wife told me, listen, don't go on Johnny's show and start telling toilet jokes. And he goes, but somebody just told me a really good toilet joke, and I got to tell you. And so everybody starts giggling. And then Walter Matthau goes, there's these three older gentlemen. They're all in their 80s. And he goes, you know what? I wake up at 6:30 every morning and I struggle and I fight just to do a good number one. I'm there forever. It takes me like 6 minutes and I'm just dying to do a good number one. The second guy goes, well, I wake up every day at 7 and I struggle and I fight to do a really good number two. And the last guy, who just so happens to be the oldest guy, he says, well, listen, every morning, 6 o'clock, I do a number one where it's like the rains on Pango Pango. It is just a beautiful cascade of number one. And then at 6:30, I do the best solid number two. They're like, well, what's your problem? He goes, I don't get up till 9:30.
Oh man.
Oh my God. So
Wow.
it's one of those, it's like a, what's it called? It's like a funny dad joke. Nothing
Right.
dirty about it, but it's fun. And it's even better when you're older, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. Oh, Captain Butch, is there anything we missed? Is there
Oh
anything you
man.
want to add?
I think we're good. We probably could sit here all day, but
I know we
I think we're
could, but
good, buddy.
I asked you for 2 hours and you gave me 2 hours. I'm sure you got a couple of honeydews on your list on this beautiful Saturday morning. It looks beautiful back home.
It is beautiful.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
maybe you can go get an afternoon back nine in.
I think that I'm going to be going to the movies this afternoon.
Ooh, I
She
like
don't
it.
ask for much, but that's one of her favorite things to do is go to movies.
I'm a
It,
popcorn guy. Are you a popcorn guy?
it is no, but it is Valentine's Day, you know.
Oh, that reminds me. I better make a phone call.
You better.
I better. Listen, I'm going to blame you. I was on my podcast.
Okay.
Captain Butch, I want to say thank you to you. Don't hang up just yet. I want to say thank you to everybody that's listening. I really appreciate sharing these stories with you. And big shout out to Captain Butch for sharing all his stories with us. And big shout out to Miss Becky for helping him with the Zoom. Everybody, we will catch you later.